Tesla, we just heard that George Soros bought the dip pretty heavily in the fourth quarter of 2022, which what's interesting about that is that's when Tesla was getting smashed. As people were tax loss harvesting, Tesla was just going lower and lower and lower every day, basically, going into Q4. And what did we just find out? Well, it turns out that George Soros and the Soros Fund Management scooped up 242,399 shares of Tesla during the fourth quarter. They increased their position roughly 270%. That's incredible, bringing the fund's total holdings to 332,000. That's remarkable. That means they went from about 90,000 shares to about 332. That's remarkable. That's about a 3.6x. That's amazing. During the quarter, the fund also bought 500,000 shares of Cathie Wood's ARK K, which we know did very well in January of 2020. So what a well-timed bet on getting back into basically tech. Year to date, ARK K is up 30%. Also unloaded his position in Zoom Video, ended up acquiring 83 million shares of Peloton. He also, took a stake in Carvana, which is on the edge of bankruptcy, and a stake in Lyft. That one, Lyft and Uber, Uber did well after earnings, but Lyft was down about 30% after earnings. So maybe not the best position right there. Smaller stake in Silvergate Capital, smaller stake in MicroStrategy, also took stake in Square, which is similar to what Bridgewater Capital did in Ray Dalio, taking heavy positions into financial firms. But this big dip buying in Tesla, pretty dang impressive. He also flattened his position in Etsy and Disney. But on the topic of EVs and Teslas, guess what Toyota just did? Specifically, Toyota. The reason I say Toyota is because the now ex-CEO, well, come April, ex-CEO of Toyota, named Mr. Toyoda with a D, was a big fan of focusing on hybrids, suggesting that electric vehicles, solely pure electric vehicles, were not necessary for a green future. Instead, the best form of a green future is already here, and it's hybrids, like the Toyota Prius, says Mr. Toyoda, that you don't actually need purely electric vehicles because the greenest form is having a smaller battery and actually an internal combustion engine vehicle with a battery train, a battery EV powertrain inside as well, which is really interesting because the amount of components and costs that go into hybrid vehicles is substantially higher than just a pure EV vehicle because you have one less entire system. In a hybrid, you have both an EV platform and an internal combustion engine system and a gas tank. In an EV, you only have one of those. Now, albeit you do have a larger battery. And so Mr. Toyoda has doubled down on this idea that hybrids are the way of the future for the company Toyota, and that the Toyota Motor Corporation will not be purely focused on electric vehicles. This is also, by the way, a company that has been anti-autonomous driving. They've been a big proponent of, look, we'll give you lane keep assist, lane departure alerts, maybe even adaptive cruise control, but are we really heavily going to invest in autonomous driving? No. We just want the driver to be able to drive a hybrid and give them some support services. That's been the big goal for Toyota. And guess what? Sales have fallen off a cliff. Toyota sales have been declining and declining and declining. And so what has just happened? Well, Toyota has decided to get rid of their old school mindset CEO, and in April, the old school CEO, Mr. Toyoda, will be replaced. Effective April, Koji Sato will be taking over from Mr. Toyoda, and Koji suggests that Toyota needs to undergo a drastic change. And guess what they're going to focus on? Pure electric vehicles. Yes. That competition for Tesla is coming, and these pure electric vehicles will come first to the Lexus brand, which is obviously the more expensive portion of the Toyota Motor Company. And don't worry, if you're excited for an electric vehicle, you don't have to wait long. You only have to wait until 2026 to get your Toyota electric vehicle, because that's when the electric vehicle specialized manufacturing platform will be available from Toyota. Now, obviously, so far what we've been seeing from Toyota has been relatively unlikely to succeed, given not only the evidence of declining sales, but also the fact that I think it's pretty damn obvious that people want more autonomy in their vehicles, not less, and people want more electric, not more hybrid. But then again, BYD is also doubling down on the hybrid platform, but they're also doubling down on the EV platform. So BYD is going with the both approach. And finally, Toyota is realizing they're getting the message from consumers that no, EV is the way to go. You know what's crazy about this, before we talk about Tesla and the union, what's crazy about this is there was actually a piece in the Wall Street Journal last month. Yeah, look at this. I have it here. Last month, Toyota chief says they're part of the silent majority. And so the president, the CEO, and president, Mr. Toyoda, questions whether electric vehicles should be pursued exclusively, and says that his company is part of the silent majority, whether it's really okay to have a single option. And so, in other words, Mr. Toyoda was convinced that the future is basically hybrids, like hydrogen-powered cars combined with gas, and hybrids combined. That's battery electric vehicles combined with gas. So basically, and then probably hydrogen and EV, right? That would be your sort of other hybrid. But anyway, Mr. Toyota was this big believer of, well, we don't think you only need one platform of only battery electric vehicles. And basically, they've been super anti EVs. And it's interesting how within a month of this Wall Street Journal article, this guy is getting the axe. Kind of crazy. But what's also kind of crazy is specifically what just happened at Tesla and the letter that was sent to Elon Musk, as well as ads that are being distributed via leaflets and websites from employees at Tesla Buffalo. Yes, apparently the Valentine's Day gift is, yes, of course, the 69% off coupon code. Well, it's not a coupon, it's a flash sale. We're done with coupons. We got rid of coupons. Today we have a flash sale. Very different. Flash sale is today. Roses are red, violets are blue, 69% off for you for the programs on building your wealth. Link down below, and the shadowing experience, whether you want education in stocks, you want education in the psychology of money, building your wealth as an entrepreneur, or you're looking to get into real estate, which the opportunities are coming up. Learn everything I know about wedge deals. Check those links out down below. But what do you have here? You have employees now distributing roses are red, violets are blue, forming a union starts with you. Yes, employees at the Buffalo facility for Tesla, New York, are apparently a group of about 800, or part of a group of about 800 labelers for the full self-driving system for Tesla. So basically they label, okay, yes, hey, we think this is a stop sign. Okay, we think this is a traffic light. Yes, this is a truck, or that is a car, or that is a pedestrian, right? And Elon Musk back in 2021 talked about the future holy grail of AI was really auto-labeling, that you could feed data into a computer and the AI would auto-label. And then really all you need is humans to confirm, is this absolutely, yes, a stop sign, or is this a yield sign, right? And so you have people confirming, yes, 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 no, 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 right? And apparently the individuals are so frustrated working for minimum wages starting at, or starting pay of $19 per hour, identifying objects. Individuals at Tesla Buffalo have gotten so frustrated that they can't get snow days when they want them, and that they feel like they're being treated like robots, although they did take a job pushing a button, that now they feel monitored and feel like they can't take bathroom breaks when they want to take bathroom breaks, that apparently they are trying to start a union. Now remember, Tesla has about 100,000 people. Tesla has been pretty anti-union so far, if you can say that. There have been rumors that individuals who've suggested unionization have just been straight fired. Apparently, Tesla shut down a Slack channel from this Buffalo, New York group when they aired grievances about snow days. And now they have a Discord server where they talk together and strategize about forming a union. Tesla has and Elon Musk have suggested that they're not anti-union. They just question, why would you pay union dues and give up stock options for nothing? That's something Elon Musk has said in the past. And it seems like Elon Musk has also been pretty anti-unionization for essentially this idea that unions only support Democrats and that you don't have unions who also support Republicans. Of course, this could be hyperbole from Elon Musk, but let's just put it this way. Individuals at Tesla Buffalo are either going to get fired or they'll maybe be able to pull off forming a union. Now, the way this works in America is if the majority of workers for a company, potentially a specific portion of a company, want to unionize, then they can vote, and if the majority of those employees vote for a union, then they can petition the labor board and force the corporation to recognize that union. But before that, the employer has the option to recognize the union. And so if the employer has the option to recognize a union, the employer could say, no thanks, not interested in supporting your right to collective bargaining, which is basically being able to go on a strike, right? And then demand changes, like demand more pay or more sick days or snow days or whatever it is, maybe less monitoring, whatever it is that you're looking for. Now keep in mind, these auto labelers, they are basically doing the job of a robot. Now I'm not trying to minimize their humanity. Like if you're watching this and you're a labeler, like, yes, I feel for you, like I respect you, you're a human and you have human rights. But the reality is you did take a job that in the future will be replaced by a robot. So if you're watching this and you think the union's gonna protect you, realize that at some point in the future you're going to be replaced. So I highly encourage you to come up with some kind of education plan or at least plan to get out of there anyway in the future. But then again, hey, $19 an hour for at a starting pay for labeling also seems pretty good. You know, I mean, I remember starting to work at Jamba Juice or Red Robin, and I got paid $8 an hour. Now, I'm not trying to like go into the past here, but like, you know, that, and I'm not trying to minimize that. You know, labeling is not hard work. I'm sure it is exhausting, especially with the pressures you might get put on you from the company. But you know, you're not running around stressed out, freaking out, dealing with customers. Yes or no on a computer. You know, okay, it's kind of like maybe that's pretty damn good. But then again, I don't know what pressures y'all are facing. Anyway, we'll see what comes out of that. Now, there's been a lot of talk about unions in the United Kingdom actually leading to substantially lower productivity. Now there are a lot of studies on unions and the benefits and cons of unions. But one of the things that I noticed is in this particular piece here, you have, and this is a Robo Research piece right here, and they talk about how labor disputes have led to 467,000 lost working days in November in the United Kingdom. That's pretty remarkable. And they talk about how this really fuels discontent. You know, how potentially unions amplify anger within a company and make people more upset. And then at the same time, unions could potentially lead to less working days or lost working days, further impeding supply chains, making it harder for you know, basically society to advance and prevent inflation. It's kind of interesting. Now, another thing that's kind of interesting is you've got somebody here in the comments saying that go unionize Starbucks, not Tesla. Now, you know what's actually really funny about that is one of the reasons that Buffalo, New York Tesla is considering unionizing is because apparently a union leader from Starbucks is working with the individuals at Tesla to help them form a union. I kid you not, a Starbucks employee, it is reported by Bloomberg, a Starbucks employee is helping the Tesla folks try to start a union. So this is obviously leading some people to say, hey, this is great, you know, spread the union ideals. And then, of course, you've got people on the other side saying this is like cancer. Once you start one cell of a union, it spreads everywhere. It's Starbucks, it's Amazon, it's going to be Apple next, it's going to be Tesla. Who knows? Obviously, if you are in a union, you have much more bargaining power for higher wages. But then the question is, how does that affect productivity? Is there a chance you just end up getting fired? Who knows? It seems like they're taking a big risk, but then again, if you're getting paid 19 to probably 24 bucks an hour to push a button, maybe you don't care that much about your job anyway, and you're kind of like, hey, let's try to unionize, and if we can, great. If I get fired, oh well. I would expect that's probably the stance people are taking. But then again, you also look and go, Tesla's one of the remaining or one of the few auto companies, I should say, other than some of the new ones that don't have a union, right? You look at Legacy Auto, it's all union. United Auto Workers Union, massive union in the United States. And a lot of people say that the fact that you have a union is exactly why it's been so hard for Joe Biden to mention the words Tesla or to actually invite Tesla to events. And the only electric vehicle manufacturers that get invited to White House events are like Ford and GM. And it's only those companies that show up. It's only those companies that get sort of the support of the president. Now, there have been a few mentions of Tesla since, first probably year. There were zero mentions of Tesla from the Biden presidency and administration, but that seems to be loosening a little bit now. But we'll see. I'm curious to know what your comments are. Some people. Obviously, Steve here is saying if Tesla unionizes, goodbye margins. And yeah, I mean, that's entirely possible. What if that does spread and all of Tesla all of a sudden unionizes, right? Is that potentially going to lead to factory shutdowns in the meantime, lower margins in the meantime? Would it lead to more productivity? Or is Elon Musk just going to go, all right, thanks, unions, you just lit a fire under my ass to build more autonomy and robots to replace your jobs in the first place? I have a feeling I know what is going through Elon Musk's mind, but I'll leave that up to your imagination for now.